Warning! Graphic pest control video ahead. Do not watch if you might be offended. If, however, you really like watching pest control videos, then hello again and welcome to the Squirrel Hunter channel. Please continue and watch us as we control pest populations with silenced air rifles here in the UK. If you have any questions, can you please check the description below first to see if it's already been answered and for some useful links. Thank you. As you can see from the picture, my weapon of choice today is the Daystate Mark IV-I in 177, and I'm launching the ever reliable H&N Barracuda Hunter Extremes. As you can see here, I've already tested them out at the right range and they seem to work quite well. Just to reiterate what I've said before in previous videos, you don't go shooting until you've tested not only your equipment but you've tested yourself, and these Hunter Extremes work very well in the Mark IV at 15 yards. And of course it should go without saying that once you've tested your equipment and yourself, when you get there to your destination to go shooting, you do take a test shot or two on a target or something just to make sure nothing's moved. And it's myself and Bro out today, and we're on Squirrel Hill if you haven't guessed already. As it turns out, it's a very windy day on Squirrel Hill today, gusts of 20 mile an hour or more, and deep down in the forest I'm hardly getting touched by the wind where I am. It's hardly moving my hide, it's not pegged down or nothing like that at all. Which of course is a great advantage. What isn't a great advantage is using an old packing crate to make your feeder and failing to block in the little holes they use for holding stuff down with. The squirrels have got their teeth into that, and you can see they've ripped away at it until they've managed to pierce through, let the wheat out. I'll have to repair that another time, I think. Right then, down to business. Our first squirrel of the day's come in for myself. This is my feeder if you didn't know. You can see where it's gone to pick up spilt grain directly under where the hole is I just showed you a minute ago. It's dropping out of there, dropping to the floor. But all is not lost. He's sat in a perfect position to shoot, quartering towards me. Now he's almost looking straight at me. Both pretty much my favourite two shots to take on a squirrel to get a clean kill. And I'm lining up on him as I'm talking with the Mark IV, the Hunter Extreme in the breech, ready to go. There we go. Nothing wrong with that shot. Good solid headshot, 177 pellet, doing the damage. And they do plenty of damage. Very effective pellet. So we pretty much use them and a few others exclusively on squirrels and rats. It's all over for that fella, I think. I do quite like the birds coming down and mopping up the excess wheat. We have squirrel number 2 come in. Caught me unawares, can dash it in. Look where he's headed for. Right in the area where the spilt grain is. In between waiting for squirrels today, I sat there plotting how I'm going to fix that hole in the feeder. I'll come up with an idea at some point. There we go. As soon as it sat still, side on headshot. Didn't work well enough. I do prefer a pellet crossing the brain. You see it's kicked in the slope. And all's over for that squirrel. Check the link in the description to why they kick after a headshot. They're not alive, I can assure you. Despite the frantic kicking. Quite often an advantage when they kick down the hill. It takes them away from the feeder. There we go, that one sat up nicely. Like a pretty solid headshot to me. Trouble is with a tail like that, I can't see its head properly. So watch it for a short while and decide I want to shoot it a second time just to be on the safe side. I can't see its head because of the tail, so the only option is to leave the hide and go out and inspect the squirrel and shoot it if I think I need to. In this case you'll see that I decide to give it a second shot quite close up. You can see it definitely needed it. I did place another pile of wheat under the feeder while I was out there, just in case that was a better attractant. And you can see I've removed the squirrels from view. If you have to leave the eye to do something like that, it usually pays to pick up. Usually stops any nonsense when another squirrel turns up. This one's done something unexpected, it decided to climb a tree, but there's quite a few of these little branches poking out. Where I'm sat I can see them too. Just going to try and line up on him for a shot. Should be pretty straightforward, I think. Got the headshot. My apologies for the camera work. I was too busy watching the squirrel on the ground. Decided it needed a second shot. I was just trying to get an angle to shoot it. Wasn't happy with the first shot. That's the second shot going in. I'm guessing I probably didn't place the shot in the first instance correctly. The second shot's worked a charm. There it is. Last few kicks on the ground. That's the beauty of a headshot in my opinion. Didn't get them perfectly the first time. You can pretty much stay in the hide and shoot them. Unless they sit there with their tail hiding their head, that is. Comes another one to go onto the top. Where's he off to? It's a patch of grain. It's drawn him away from the other leg by the look of it. That'll do. You very often put little piles down like that. Trouble is when they turn their back on you, sometimes they punch their shoulders, but I can see his head correctly this time. At the back of the head, it's another good shot as well if you can do them. There's a danger sometimes when they sit there and they hunch up, the head drops down below the shoulders. I can see enough of it to slot a 177 in there. Accuracy trumps power yet again. Lots of blood. They do quite a lot of damage when you manage to land them in the right spot. You can see the hole there where I hit him. Happy with that. This one's come dashing in from the right and it looks like it's found some spilt grain. It's been kicked across the floor. Another disadvantage for having a hole in the side of the feeder. Just shuffling to get position. There the shot goes. Another dead squirrel. Then you have to sit and feed. You hear the wind now blowing quite hard. Do like a bit of bird watching in between squirrels. Just break up the monotony of waiting. You can never tell when they're going to turn up. All of a sudden one disappear. Again it's come from the right. What's it going to do this time? My little patch of wheat's working well. Much rather go for that than the spilt grains by the look of it. I'm going to sniff around, there's no squirrels wait for him to see, apart from the one in the lane. No, he's going to go and sit on the feeder. Or is he? I don't really care where they sit, anywhere in view and still. That's exactly what that one was. Good solid headshot, nice and accurate. That's pretty typical behaviour from a headshot squirrel. And while I was waiting for the next squirrel, Mr. Hare comes running by, or Mrs. Hare, I'm not sure. See them now and again round here. I absolutely love seeing hares. I don't know whether it's because of the wind. I just see another one. Fantastic. Absolutely love seeing hares. And yet again. They seem to be chasing themselves around this woodland. There's two go galloping by. I'm flicking the camera on and off, trying to catch them. Absolutely brilliant. Made my day. Nice to get a close-up view of a hare. Really enjoy seeing them. It's a European brown hare, if you didn't know. Nice little interlude there. Not sure why they were running around like that. I've never seen that before. Whether it's the wind, I don't know. Back to the business in hand. Seems to be looking straight at me. It's ignoring the dead one in the lane. Bit of a sniff about. I'm fidgeting for position. To film this type of shooting, I normally get the camera on the target I'm trying to shoot, and then I track with my rifle and ascertain when the shot should be taken. I'm still moving around by the sound of it. Here we go. When my brain sees the picture I'm used to seeing, I'm happy the crosshairs are on target. All that hard work and setup ends up with a dead squirrel. Stacked it quite nicely there. Oh look, yeah, another hare running around. It's my day for it. Look at this. Couldn't quite believe this. How close is this? No idea I was there. Fantastic. Gives me goosebumps to watch this again. Absolutely love seeing these creatures, especially this close. I've no idea I'm there. Before anyone says anything, I'm not going to shoot it. I don't want to, and I'm not allowed. A little exhalation. He's kept galloping past me. Never seen this much activity on this hill before. I know they're here. I was tempted to apologise for including this much hare footage, but it's my video and I'll do as I like. It's not what we're about, just killing things. This is even better, look at this. I thought any time soon this hare's going to spot me. Not exactly stealthy, am I? Trying to take the camera off now. Through the side of the hide. How good's that? You hear the footfall in the leaves. Normally when I hear that outside the hide, I normally know there's a squirrel or something coming. Made my day, this. Not sure if this is the female or not. It looks quite small. Maybe a youngster. Maybe that's why it's not so savvy about danger, possibly. Not entirely sure what it's eating. It looks like it's foraging. They live above ground all year long, if I'm not mistaken. Do like hares. You hear the wind. What a blowy day. Not sure if that's the reason why there were so many about. What was going on, to be honest. Anyway, we'll get back to the shooting now, I think. So even though it's a windy day, squirrels don't normally like wind that much, but you can see by its tail it's not being blown much. I can tell you the fact my hide's not moving. Doesn't really make a difference down here. More spilt grains by the look of it. That'll do though. Sounds like I haven't cocked my rifle. Oh dear. This time. There we go. Nice shot to the head. Another one bites the dust. Sounds like the wind's got up even harder now. Trees being bent around, but I'm so deep in the forest, it's barely touching me where I am. Like a giant vegetable windbreak. The car parked down there. No idea he's in trouble. But not one of them's been shot off the feeder itself. So it's back to me, see? Not good. That'll do though, I can see him perfectly well there. Is he going to stay there and feed? The one thing about a pile of food, they stay in their place, to pop up into the same location every time. Still got the kill. Didn't get on film perfectly if you'd wanted another shot. I was too busy tracking him by the look of it. Well, that's my last squirrel of the day. I'll take 10. It's always a good day out if you can get double figures. Over to Bro now. He's doing some bird watching. It's obviously at the beginning of his session, about when I started mine. He gets blown around quite a bit down here. You can hear the wind coming down the track towards him and it moves his hide a little bit, but again he's still quite sheltered. The first squirrel of the day for him. More spilt grain, but they scratted that out onto the floor by the look of it. Zooming in with a gun, or lining up rather. There we go. Straight on headshot. Quite devastating. See where the brains have oozed out the skull. Gruesome, but then again you are trying to kill an animal, so if you're not happy with it, you shouldn't be doing it. Here's squirrel number 2 for Bro's session. There we go. Looks like he's got him right over the top of the eye. Right in the eyebrow is a good spot. Usually gets the brain quite well. See European buzzards crowds in the background then. That's 2 for Bro there, doing quite well. And here we go, another visitor. What's this one going to do? Just feed any old where, don't mind us. Looks like he's just pounced on one of the dead ones, I think. Nope. Decided to go over there. This one's going to be annoying, I think. Need to sit up. There we go. Unfortunately, he's wandered at a shot a bit. But only a shot of the camera. Bro's pellet found him quite well. That'll do. Here comes another one, just like the other one. The tendency of squirrels to come from a few angles. Tends to be fairly consistent, the directions. I think it pretty much points to where they're bed down, or the routes they take on foraging. So the first one is come onto the feeder proper. It's caught him a nice headshot there. Do bleed out quite well. Short bit of kicking, it's all over. That'll do nicely. It's going to stay there. Straight between the eyes. Pellets usually go straight through the brain and down into the body and basically expend all of their energy. Nothing's wasted. It doesn't take a lot to go through a squirrel's skull, they're pretty thin. Very thin, in fact. No way the pellet would bounce off, as I've heard some people suggest in the past. Utter ridiculous. Anyone who thinks the pellet's bounced off has probably missed it. Anyway, just my opinion. There's a straight on headshot possibility. In this position he's looking slightly uphill at these squirrels. Pretty much above his head height. So if the pellet entry point looks a little bit low, it's going up into the brain. The bro's juggling the camera and the rifle, trying to get both in shot. It looks like that pellet struck a bit low, even though he's aiming up at it. Still on the low side. It's bleeding out of its ear, which is always a good sign. But it needs a second shot, I think. Which pretty much bro agreed with. Need a couple of seconds to work out what's gone on. Quite a bit of carnage ensues. There's a quick look at it there. That's where I think the pellet went in. You can see it's pretty much under the brain, but it still did a lot of damage. They don't walk them off very easily. At some point normally they look at the corpses on the ground and puts a few of them off sometimes with some bizarre activity. Sometimes they just ignore them like this one. That'll do if he sits there long enough. Nicely shot there by Bro. See the blood on the ground. Quite a bit of damage. Again, check out the link in the description from Ted's video explaining why they kick. See, this one obviously did a lot of messing about, so I've sped it up quite a bit. Most of the other clips Bro gave me were pretty short. I haven't bothered to cut anything off them. It's all I've received. There we go. And the bullet is back to you. Just about see enough. Just about. Obviously Bro felt confident enough to take the shot. You can see the result's pretty good. Another dead squirrel. Just kick that into the vegetables. Vegetation even. Don't suppose there's any carrots in there, hey? This sometimes happens when you're out. You get 2 squirrels in shot. Or more even sometimes. The only question is how many of them can you shoot before the other ones get the message and run away? There's 2. All we normally do is shoot the one that presents the best target. Make sure of 1 kill and then see if you can pick the other one off. Pretty sure this one at the front's going to be the main candidate for a shot. Just got to get him to sit still. Sometimes the other one behind might come and play and disturb the front one. Or maybe enact some dominance on it, try and fight it for control of the feeder, at which point we let the bully of the 2 take the shot. This will be alright though if he stays like this. Nice comfortable feeding pattern, not agitated this time. Nothing wrong with that shot. Where's that other one gone? Not far is the answer. Did he even know anything went on? Just looked over at the noise, I think. In fact, there's 3 squirrels here, not 2. Looks like all the squirrels I could have shot have come down here. It's doing well today. Never quite know which feed is going to produce the most. That's Bro's text message alert. It's the sound of a squirrel noise. I've obviously texted him something. Forever texting each other with what we've got. There's a second squirrel on the deck. I think that might be the 3rd squirrel. I think it ran off, maybe come back again. I'm not sure. A bit of a guess on my part, but this one's making all the right moves. That'll do if he stays there. This time. Yeah. Straight between the eyes. On a straight on shot, I normally rest my crosshair, the horizontal one, I usually rest it right on the top of their eyebrows. Do like that shot. Well done, bro. More bird watching. Blissfully unaware of the dead squirrels. Another target coming into view. This one's having a bit of a much about, so I sped him up. You know the score by now, they mess about. To their own good time, they'll eventually come to a spot. Take some food. You see, have a good of a sniff of that blood, didn't put him off. Maybe you should have thought better of it. Yet again, I'm texting bro. I think he might have been picked up a couple of times. Look at the disappearing bodies. I'll sped this one up again. You get the idea. This one's actually gone on the feeder. It's a strange thing, isn't it? See a feeding squirrel on the feeder. That's me hassling bro with another text. Had it in the past, I've texted him and the squirrel's been running along and then heard this squirrel call on the phone and stopped and bro shot him, so sometimes worked to his advantage. Always looking, always cautious. If you were to wander around the woods trying to find these things, they'll probably see you before you see them. In fact, I'm certain of it. That's why the feeders are such a good idea if you want to get a lot of them out of a wood. That'll do if he stays there. His initial head movement, he became still. I'm almost like a nagging wife, aren't I? Keep texting him. Probably saying, how many you got now? I was more than happy with 10 for this day. And all the hair footage I got. Thoroughly enjoyed the day out. And we were successful, more the point. I'll count up in a minute. I think this is his last squirrel of the day. Looks like he's done better than I have. So count them up in a minute, see what he's got. And again, son. That'll do. See how quick the head went down? That'll be better. Nice shot for the last one there, bro. as I said, that's his last one of the day. So quick count up. And there you have it. I finished on 10. Bro trounced me with 16. And I didn't mention before he's using the Air Arms S510 in 177. And he would have been using exactly the same pellets as me, the Hunter Extremes. So not bad at all. 26 out the woodland. The owner will be happy. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.